Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with my take on pretty much pure Plunder Patrols. I think this deck is actually incredible, you guys. It's a really strong deck. It can grind, but at the same time, it can make really powerful turn 1 boards. I did get the Eternity Code cards. I'm basically borrowing these right now from the Duelist Boys. Shout out to you guys. Until I get my own versions, until I get my own copies of them. So they really are the reason why I was able to showcase this deck profile to you guys complete with very minimum proxies. Now, this deck is crazy, you guys. I've been talking about it for a while on my channel, in the community posts, and been playing with it online, and just been doing really crazy stuff with it. When you open a good hand, you can play through so many interruptions, and the deck can take you so far on one card. I really like that it's able to grind, and it can recycle its resources. It has good resource management. It's able to it has a kooky way where you can just kind of fine-tune your combo through multiple interruptions and still end on exactly what you were trying to get to. So I like it. It's really cool. I got some duels testing it, but I'm going to go ahead and get into the list, you guys. So starting off with 3 copies of Whitebeard. Whitebeard's the best one. He's super strong. Not only he's a tuner, but he floats and he tags out. This card can take you so far. As I was explaining in take 1, basically this card can summon out Lice in the Eldritch matchup and equip itself to Lice. Lice can then special summon him, and then he will just float into something else. So that one Whitebeard will get you Lice, and that can tag into Red. Red can then summon Blue. Blue can tag out into something else. Then you could draw. You could just turn one card into so many with this deck. It's crazy. And the good meta decks that are actually popping right now, that are really cutting up and doing good in the competitive scene, basically they have the attributes that you normally need. A lot of people are playing Needle Fiber. A lot of people are playing Jet Synchron. So they're already giving you 2 things that you can summon off of your pilots. So they made kind of like Cosmos, where you have pilots for the ships, but Whitebeard's not actually a pilot. I want to learn more about the lore for this deck. It has a really cool lore, and the cards do tell a story if you look in the art. And then we're playing 3 copies of Redbeard. Redbeard's almost just as insane as Whitebeard. One of the things, just being able to just discard him for cost for some of your other ships, so that he can equip himself to a ship that wasn't equipped, is a really key interaction. And you can utilize the same thing. You could utilize Lice to just tag him out once you're done with that ship. Use his quick effect, use Lice to tag him onto the field, and then you can use his on-field effect after you pitch him from hand, equipped him, and got him back on field to tag him to another ship. So you could turn one Redbeard into so many cards too. That's how this deck, it could just really grind so well, because one card can get you so many, and you just swarm the field with all your ships, and they have really strong effects. It's just very reactive. So these are kind of the older ones that came in Ignition Assault. Really strong cards though. Next up for the newer ones, we're playing 3 copies of Golden Hair. This card is ridiculously strong. It's an extender by nature. Everything it does is extend, and it's a tuner. It's broken. It really is powerful. And it obviously is just a key interaction. It's like dang near a 1-card combo if it's just a discard. It's dang near a 1-card combo just to make a Bluebeard minimum. And sometimes Bluebeard can just get you there, but it depends on the matchup, honestly. But Golden Hair is an insane extender in this deck. You absolutely want to play 3 of this. This card just does so much for you. It can drop itself on field free off of its effect and revive itself from graveyard. It's just super strong. Continuing, I play 3 copies of Bluebeard. You do want to max out on the plunders. Honestly, if you don't open a plunder monster, there's very little things that you can do. Because even if you don't open red or white, you could still get emblem on one of these and just tag out into a ship or a Blackbeard, and you can set your plays up on your opponent's turn. But Bluebeard is probably the weakest one. He isn't basically an extender by nature. He can summon himself from hand. And he also can fix your hand as well. He can basically you could trade. Like sometimes when you have extra desires, which I did in one of my duels, I traded one of my dead desires and filtered into a different card. So all of them have utility. They're all really strong for what it's worth. Just opening any plunder can do so many good things for you. Honestly, even like I said, Golden Hair by itself is just crazy. So that's it for the plunder monsters. You just max out on them. We have 3 copies of Silent Angler. Silent Angler is just the extender of choice. It really helps you to make hard make mark. It extends you into Blackbeard. It can even go into the Needle Fiber combo. You could just normal golden, special this. That's the Needle Fiber combo. It's one of the better extenders of the deck. You could play Dangerous, but the thing is, Dangers allow you to discard, which can be good for you, but at the same time, when you activate a danger and you don't you don't whiff on it, your hand size will decrease from 5 to 4. Even though it's good to discard them for the field spell, blowing neg 1 just to get a body on field is very bad with this deck because you need your hand. You need your hand resources. Like, if you end with no cards, you have to try to just basically get lucky off of Blackbeard because you have to keep Plunder cards in your hand. So I feel like this is a stronger extender. If you play Bahamut Shark Toad, you can go into that. This can make Dweller. It hard summons Mark. It's just super duper strong. For more basically tech cards, we're playing 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. Now, a lot of people will say that this card is not actually easy to get out in this deck. As in, like, oh, every time that you would be able to resolve Parallel Exceed, you basically would be locked into Plunders. And that's actually not true. Like, honestly, it's way too easy to resolve Exceed for the simple fact that every monster in your lineup that is not Whitebeard can be linked into Salamangreat Almirage. All of these have less than 1,000 or less attack. Even Silent Angler himself, you could normal him and link in Almirage and still make Parallel Exceed. Parallel Exceed is really, really important in this deck because when you're playing Plunder Patrols, you want to make sure, there's a reason why a good Plunder Patrol player will play 2 of each of the ships, because you want to be able to tag into one, but you still want to hard summon one. When you properly summon it, you get added value because you can bring it back off of booty, and hard summoning more is very important because it has that Ding Girsu effect where twice you can protect your cards from being destroyed by anything. So Parallel Exceed is here so that you could do turn 1 Dweller plays and also to hard summon more. Even if you can't equip him, just having him there to protect your entire field is incredible. And equipping him with the emblem makes it even stronger. So Parallel Exceed is actually really, really strong in this deck. It's a great addition. It's one of the better extenders. You can play Undyne and the controller. I tested that as well. But I found, like, outside of dumping Golden Hair, like, Undyne really doesn't have that much utility. And yeah, it's like a 1-card combo with the discard that just keeps it a self-contained 1 card. But all Undyne can really do is just make Blackbeard, and that's it. Whereas with this, it has way more utility than the Gen X Undyne. It has to be drawn pairing with one of the random 12 cards, obviously, plus the fill spell, but it still just gives you more options in the long run. It's a stronger card. And it doesn't lock you into anything, so you could still just use it to link with a random Plunder to go into Blackbeard anyway. So it can do the same thing that Undyne can do in different ways. So the 3 Parallel XC is really, really strong card. Like I'm telling you guys, hard summoning Mark is the way to go. And then 1 copy of O-Lion for our standard combo for Needle Fiber. In testing, when I was doing this against my friends, I really didn't go into the combo like at all. The deck is honestly so strong by itself. Just doing normal, just pure Plunder plays can get you so much farther. But the Needle Fiber combo is necessary if you play against decks where Lice is not going to be a good interaction. And you have to be able to still negate cards instead of just targeting them and banishing them. So you're not always going to have a good matchup against back rows if you don't go into the Needle Fiber combo. For the spells and traps, for the spells I'm playing 3 copies of Shipyard. This card is insane, you guys. There's actually some really cool interactions that came up even in testing where you would activate this, people would like pop it or do something to it, and you didn't use the effect. You could just use the Graveyard effect and actually capitalize. Like, this card lets you plus so much. This is why I play Foolish Barrel Goods. There's so much utility, like, in this card. It's crazy. And it allows you to just OTK because it boosts everything. Like, it searches any Plunder card. But it's one of its best effects probably is actually the Graveyard effect. Because even being able to just target one of your red beards that's equipped, bounce it back to your hand to set this, activate it, now you have a red beard in hand for you to discard for any of your Plunder ships. And you could, it's just crazy. There's so much you can do. Even just freely, if you have an emblem and random Plunders, you just can normal the emblem, normal the Plunder, equip the emblem, activate Foolish Barrel Goods, dump this, and then bounce the emblem to get this set. And then you can activate it. And now Foolish Barrel Goods just became a terraforming for you. So there's so much utility with this card. So many ways you can utilize it. It's really, really strong. Shipyard's crazy, you guys. The 1 terraforming, just so I can play 4 Shipyards. This card is super important to have. Not really for the searching, because you don't have to always search with this deck. You just hard draw the card sometimes. But it's really the attack boost for 500 plus every back row is crazy. Like, you're OTKing without Boarsword. You're having like 4,000 attack ships. It's crazy. And then I do actually play 3. Now this card, you could play 2 to 1 of it, but I play 3. I can show you really, really nice combos with this. Even if bare minimum is just a discard fodder, it's a good name. You do want to play a lot of Plunder names. You want to always end with a couple Plunder cards in your hand. Its effect is incredible in Grave. This is how you can bait so many negates and just activate this effect from Grave, equip an emblem, and this is a Graveyard effect resolving. So like, they'd have to like use Savage or something, and you could basically just play through interruptions and then use it to get an emblem and tag into a ship and start snowballing out of control. This card is just crazy. You can play through Nibiru. Like, it's just super duper strong. Even if you don't use it to actually fusion summon, it's a really, really strong card. Good for discarding. Everything about it is incredible, you guys. I love maxing out on this card. It's crazy. Like, that's how I beat Heralds playing online. I just used it, activated it, negated, okay, normal, equip emblem, summon a Lice that was at 3k, and just beat over Herald. It was just super nice. Like, this card is crazy, you guys. You really do want to hard summon Lice too, because like I was saying, once you hard summon your ships, Booty can now revive your extra deck monsters because they were properly summoned. So 3 of those, absolutely love maxing out on it. You can play 2 though if you want to. 3 copies of Emblem. Emblem is super duper good, you guys. This card's crazy. Like, I'm absolutely playing 3 of it. This card is just like something the deck really, really needed, like desperately. It has so much utility, it's just ridiculous. It's like Blackbeard, but except you don't have to actually rely on your opponent. You can use whatever you have. It's super duper powerful. It kind of does bypass the restriction where this deck has to rely on your opponent to an extent. As long as you have what you have on your field and your grave, you can pretty much summon anything you want. And that's it for the Plunder spells. I'm just going to get into some generic cards. 3 Called by the Graves. If you're not playing this in your list, I feel like you're going to, in the long run, really end up regretting it, because all of your cards can be Ash Blossom. Blackbeard and all the shits, because they search or draw, your opponent can actually chain Ash Blossom to Lice's negate effect, and negate your negate with an Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is like the strongest hand trap reacting against this deck. So you absolutely want to call by Ash Blossom the first time you see it, so that you don't have to worry about it for a couple turns. It's just really, really strong. Call by is really here for the Ash, and obviously to let your effects resolve and things of that nature. But it's just super duper strong. You never want your Lice to not resolve, or for your Blackbeard to not resolve because your opponent had an Ash. You really have to play Called by the Grave. Otherwise, there'll be times where you're losing to 1 hand trap, and that's not good. So 3 Called bys. I'm actually maxing out on Desires. I'm just maxing out on consistency cards to get to my engine as quickly as possible. And then 2 Fool's Barrel Goods. This card's nice. So much utility with it. You're normally just going to use it to dump the field spell if you haven't already seen it. And you can use the field spell to bounce any of your plunders back to your hand and then set it, flip it. And now you have a hand to just discard. Like, it's just so good. This card can just snowball out of control too, paired with the right cards. 2 Salvage for basically resource management as well. 2 is perfect. 3 is just a little bit too much. This card's a +1 mid to late game. The 1 Upstart, even though this is not a 40 card deck, the thing is Upstart's a free side out. That's what's really important, and you don't have to play exactly 40 to play Upstart. I don't know who made that law, but it's not a law. Upstart's a free side out. It's limbo. It doesn't exist. It's always going to be the next card, and this makes it so that's 1 less card that's part of your engine that you don't have to side out because Upstart's there. And the trap that I'm main decking is 3 Booty. This card is sick, you guys. This is how we're getting like evenly matched and lightning storming stuff, and you just keep this, use this, flip it, summon out Whitebeard. You're just going to snowball control off of that 1 card. This card is insane. Like, and interactions that come up, I'll go ahead and explain the extra deck, and I'll explain interactions that come up where I was able to play around Dark Ruler and cards like evenly matched. So we're playing 2 copies of Blackbeard, 2 Lice. They only had 1, and I'm just borrowing the 1 and I'm proxying the other. And then we're playing 2 copies of Bran. Bran is just crazy, you guys. The boost actually is relevant, and just being able to quick effect banish, because Eldritch is a strong deck, it's just really, really strong, you guys. 2 copies of Mark. Mark is kind of like the most insane plunder sometimes, because its effect to protect is nuts. It comes up so much, you guys. Even if you're playing against effects that negate and destroy, if this was already on the field first, they can negate and destroy any of your cards, and it will just be negated but not destroyed, so you can use it to do anything you want with it. So I just played 2 of each of the plunders. We played 1 Almirage, 1 copy of Hawkeye Firebacks, 1 O-Lion proxy. We played Don Dragster, Arclight, and Metal Marcher for the standard combo. And the generic Ring 4 choice besides Hard Summoning Mark, Blind Dweller, so good this format. So like I was saying about cards like Dark Ruler No More, because those are cards that can really hurt this deck. So what happened online, basically, because I was testing this deck online before I got it. So when people Dark Ruler No More me, when I basically either had Booty, which Booty is actually incredible, you guys. If you have Booty, you're fine. But if you just have a Whitebeard in hand, what you can do is, even though they Dark Ruler No More, you can still pay cost even though their effects are negated. So you could use a card like Lice to pitch Whitebeard for cost to summon a Redbeard from your deck. that's not affected by Dark Ruler because it was already after Dark Ruler resolved. You can use Redbeard to tag into any one of your ships. Then you could flip your booty and start building your board on your opponent's turn after they Dark Rulered you. If they evenly you keep the booty and use it to reborn Whitebeard, and you could still play off of that. If they Lightning Storm you, you just flip booty. Like, there's so many interactions where people will side heavy against you, and it's not the end of the world. This is a really, really strong deck. What's the timer on it?
14 minutes.
14 minutes? Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a couple combos for the deck. So, this is going to be, like, one of my favorite ones, even though it's not a traditional combo. I can show you guys the Needle combo. I can show you guys Exceeds stuff and all that, but this one right here, I'm going to show you guys this combo. So, this is a really, really cool 3-card combo. I really do like this because this sets you up. By activating this card as the first card, the first power card you activate, you are now protected from at least one hand trap. At least one hand trap. So they would have to have a hand trap plus a negation like Imperm or Valor to stop any play that you make further. So this 3-card combo is really, really cool. So you just activate shipping. You send off both your beards. You summon out your lice. And then separate chains, you have Whitebeard and Redbeard. So Whitebeard Chainlink 1, Redbeard Chainlink 2 to equip itself to Lice. Whitebeard is then going to summon out Golden Hair, your next best extender. And at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and activate the Plunder Patrol shipping. You're going to send it off, you're going to banish it. And you're going to go ahead and equip an emblem to your Golden Hair. You can go ahead and activate Lice. If you want to, you can actually summon this out, which gives you a fat field. Like, already you traded your 3 cards out into stuff on your field. You could then use even Emblem, for example, to send it off. And then hard summon, not hard summon, but not properly summon your Blackbeard. And then equip the hair to it. And so, even if you stopped right here, because you could also hard summon Mark, you could synchro into Brian. You could do so many different things because basically you're locked into Plunders because you're using Whitebeard, so you can't do generic stuff. But basically, this board right here can actually snowball out of control. Just resolving this, dumping those 2, you have red to tag into something, you have black to tag into something, and also keep in mind when you activate black, you basically target itself and you can chain Lice to bring this out so that it doesn't fall off to the grave because it's equipped to black, and then black will tag and then equip itself to whatever he summons. Then you draw, and you still have these 2 bodies. Like, you just get it. It doesn't look like that, but like it's like Salads when they just summon Sunlight Wolf and pass, and you're like, oh, it's nothing. And then turn 2 out of nowhere, they're just going crazy. Like, that's how this deck works. So that's a really, really cool combo. Just keep in mind you always have to have Plunder cards in hand for you to do really anything on your opponent's turn. Another combo is pretty much a standard combo for this deck, and it's one of the easiest 2-card combos ever. Basically, any one of your tuners, including your not your shipping, but your field spell, and any random extender. So it could, for example, be Silent Angler or even Blackbeard or Bluebeard. So it's pretty easy to get to this combo. So, for example, if it's just Golden Hair plus Silent Angler, you could basically just go normal Golden Hair, special Angler. This is a combo I didn't do all day while I was practicing this deck. Summon Needle. And you'll go ahead and utilize Needle to summon the O-line that I didn't even summon today. All I did while I was practicing with this deck was discard O-line. I didn't even use the this combo. So you're going to go ahead and summon your O-line. Then you're going to link this off into your proxy link cross. And you're going to go ahead and summon out 2 tokens. And these are cards I'm still on the fence about testing with the deck. And you basically take the O-line and one of the tokens, and you synchro into Marcher. And you're going to go triggering both these, so you could chain block however you want. You're going to summon a level 3 token now. And Marcher is going to go ahead and bring back the tuner, which is going to be your basically your Golden Hair. And then at this point, you could take the Marcher and the level 1 token to synchro into Arclight. And then you could use the Golden Hair and the level 3. And you can summon out Don Draxter. And then you could still use Golden Hair's effect in Grave to just discard a random card to summon it out. And then you can basically link with it and the link cross and to go into Blackbeard. So that's a really, really strong inning board because you do have negations that you don't normally have playing Plunders. And also in addition to that, you do have a Blackbeard so that you can generate advantage. And the rest of your hand, totally, it's like up to you. Because if you discard Whitebeard to Reborn the hair, after you do all this, Whitebeard's going to trigger to summon red. It's going to be crazy, you guys. So that can be really, really advantageous for you. And then I'll show one last one, which is just going to be a simple one, Parallel Exceed. And to show you guys how consistent Parallel Exceed really is in this deck, you could even open O-Line and Parallel Exceed and still do it. So basically, it could be... She's just like really, she's like the best. Like, next to Whitebeard, she's like the most powerful extender for your Plunder Patrols, because she's just crazy. So you're going to go ahead and normal summon her. You're going to link summon with her. This is why you do want to play Almirage in this deck, because you can just get cards like her engraved immediately. Then you're going to trigger Parallel Exceed. You're going to special summon it. And you're going to go ahead and summon out another copy of Parallel Exceed. Obviously, that's how it works. You could even play Rafflesia and Gravediggers if you're scared of Nibiru. And then you can go ahead and hard summon Dweller or Mork. It's totally up to you. I kind of just I like hard summon Mork. And then you can use her graveyard effect, pitch a card, revive her, link with her in the Almirage into the Blackbeard. And if you want to summon Dweller, you can just summon your Dweller, summon it first, and then activate her graveyard effect, bring her back, and make your Blackbeard. And so that's just this, plus Parallel Exceed. You can get that as well. So there's some really, really cool boards. Still fine-tuning it, still learning more about the deck. But for right now, I think it's really, really strong. I would definitely play this deck competitively. I believe in it that much. But that's pretty much it for the deck profile, you guys. No side deck for right now. That's still in the works. But I think Kaiju's and Kaiju Slumber is really, really good for this deck, because they benefit the emblem and the plays that you want to make with this deck, giving them Kaijus of different attributes. But that's pretty much it. God bless you guys. Make good choices. And don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. You guys be safe, alright? Deuces as well.